Hey guys, excuse me. This is for Friday, August 4th. This is the video notes. Okay, I'm sorry, my phone rang. So this is Friday's video notes. This is 3 ways to write a decimal. And then we're going to do pages 25 through 26 of lesson 3. So the 3 ways to write a decimal is just a real straightforward practice sheet that I bought off Teachers Pay Teachers. Real straightforward. It gives you this. You have standard form, expanded form, and word form. And with the expanded form, they're requiring you to just do this, just the value of each number, which is really simple. And if you want to, I had some people who have still have when we get to this point have a little difficulty. So I'm going to show you something that you can do to help you out. Sorry, I'm trying to move on a chair. Okay, so with things like this, when you get to your expanded form, you can either print this off the internet, they have plenty of them, or you could simply just draw one. It's a place value chart. So with the place value chart, I looked on the paper and I think the tens are as high as it goes. So I'm going to do a tens place, ones, a decimal, tenths, hundredths, and then I have thousands. I'm going to tell you right now, that will never work out that good again. I couldn't do that if I tried. All right. Now, so also, some of these people, they also like to put above it what the numbers represent, or they even put it below it. But sometimes I tell them it could get confusing if you put it below. And also, it can get confusing if you put too much stuff or information around it. So what some of them do is they'll come up here and just do this. So because it's the tens place, it's going to be times 10 times 1 times 1/10 times 100th times 1,000th. All right, now you will use this to help you figure out the rest of this, just like that. And let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Even if you wanted to, you could go, okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so the first one is 4 and 389 thousandths. So if you need to, just come. 1 second. It's going to bug me till I fix this. So decimal, 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 decimal. The place value chart is going to be your best friend by the time I get finished. Okay, so 4 is in the ones place. 3, 8, 9. Okay, so now you just take this information and you fill in your boxes. So the expanded form that you have to do is the simple expanded form. So right there, they're just writing out the number values. Okay, the value of the 4 is 4 because it's in the ones place. So that'll be 4 plus, okay, the value of the 3. It's in the tenths place, so it's going to be 3 tenths. 3 tenths. Okay, the 8 is in the hundredths place, so its value is 8 hundredths. 9 is in the thousands place, so 9 thousandths. See, makes it real easy. All right, so how would I say that? Well, whole number first, so it's 4. And because I have a decimal, 389 thousandths, because the 9 is my smallest unit, therefore I say that name. So 389 thousandths. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Now the next one's a little different. So if you wanted to do this still, you can. So I have 10 plus 3 plus 2 tenths plus 7 hundredths. Okay, the 10 represents the tenths place. And how many tens? 1. So 1 10 plus 3, which goes in the ones place. We have the tenths. 2 tenths, 7 hundredths. So there's your standard form. 13.27. Okay. Word form. How would you say that? Well, first we're going to say the word form. Or, I'm sorry, the word form. The whole word. Oh my word. The whole number. The whole number is 13. So 13 and, okay, my smallest unit is the 7 and it's in the hundredths place. So 27 hundredths. Okay. All right. So the next one, 5 and 33 hundredths. Okay, my whole number is 5, and it's in the ones place. 33 hundredths. Okay, the hundredths is tenths. Hundredths right here. 33. Okay, so we have the number right here. 5 and 33 hundredths. And we just turn this into the expanded form. 5 plus 3 tenths plus 3 hundredths. Okay, this next one we're going to move to the thousandths place. So we have 8. Well, actually, I want you to try to do these right here. I'm going to give you, we'll pause, okay? And I want you to fill this out, okay? It shouldn't take you less than 5 minutes, just on how I was doing this. So go ahead and stop the video, pause it, and fill that out. Okay, hopefully you paused the video, because if you didn't, you didn't listen to directions. All right, so you could have used your place value chart once again, right here, and just filled it in. You have 8, 3, 0, 9. Okay, so now let's do the expanded form. We have 8 plus 3 tenths plus 0 hundredths. Now remember, we don't have to write 0 hundredths, but if you want to, you could do 0.00 plus 9 thousandths. Okay. Word form. Whole number first, and my whole number is 8. So, and, okay, 309. Okay, the 9 is in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths place, so I know whatever I say, it's going to end in a thousandths. So say the number, 309. Now that's when it comes in very important that we don't say 309. You need to start, let's like 309. Okay, so 309 thousandths. Okay. Next one, we have expanded form. We have 5 times 1, 4 times 1/10, 3 times 100, 7 times 1,000. Oh, they did this differently. Okay, so I have 5 times 1, so that means the 5's in the 1's place. I'm going to write this down here and then I'll show y'all. The 4's in the 10th place because it's times 1/10. The 3 is in the 100th place. 7 is in the 1,000th place. Okay. So we have 5.43. Now see, that's why it's very important that we understand how the whole place value chart works, because once you do and you can do all this, it makes this much easier. So we have to say the whole number. The whole number is a 5, so we're going to go 5 and, okay, I have the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So whatever it is, I got it in the thousandths. So 437,000. So 437 thousandths. Okay, next one is 5 and 372 thousandths. Okay, 5 is my whole number. Okay, so it's going to go in the, can I fit that? Oh, I can. Okay, so it's going to go in the whole number slot. So 5, 372 thousandths. So thousandths is 3 places over. Okay, 372. Well, if it's 372. Okay, so I'm just going to take this information and copy it over. Okay, and then I'm going to use, let's go ahead and do it how they did it. So 5 times 1 plus 3 times 1/10 plus 7 times 100 plus 2 times 1,000. All right, so there you go. Writing expanded form or writing decimals in 3 different ways. All right, now we're going to do pages 25 through 26. All right. This is basically a kind of like a study thing before you actually get to the actual test. And if you need to, honestly, I would come right down here on my extra sheet of paper and I would go ahead, because I know I'm probably going to need it. And it looks like we don't go past the tens place. Yep, we do, right there. Hundreds place. Okay. Now let's just stick with the tens place. Okay, so we have tens, ones, decimal, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Once again, I'm going to go times 10 times 1 decimal times that times that times that. Okay, so let's look at our thing. Okay, Sonia measured her pet mouse from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. Her mouse is 14 hundredths of a centimeter long. Which of the following expresses the length as a decimal? So, remember how we read a decimal. We are going to look for, we're going to look for the whole number first, and we do not have a whole number. We don't. So, now we're just working with this. Okay, so I have 14 hundredths. So that means my smallest unit is in the hundredths place. Okay, which means it has two places. And then 14 hundredths. Okay, 14 hundredths. How would you write that? Okay, find the one that matches. That'll be your 14. All right, so now we have choose either yes or no to tell if each of the following represents 87 hundredths. Okay. I just think I gave you part of the answers. All right, so I have 8. So I have 8 plus 10. I'm going to go ahead and do this. 0, 8, 7. Okay, so 1 second. Sorry. So I have 8 tenths, 8 tenths, 7 hundredths, 700. That does equal that. Okay. 8 hundredths, 700. 8 hundredths, plus 87 hundredths. I'm sorry, I cannot say that. 8 hundredths plus 7 hundredths. See, now we can't do that because 8 plus 7 is 15, and we carry over our 100. So that's a no. What could have happened is if the 8 had to be an 80 for it to be correct, and that's not right. Okay? 87 hundredths. 8700. Well, that's right. 87. Well, looky there. We have 3 rights and 1 incorrect. Okay, next we are going to look at this one. And I'm going to go ahead and bunch this up. All right, so it says 3 times 10 plus 2 times 1 plus 6 times 1 hundredths plus 4 times 1,000ths is the expanded form of which decimal? So I'm going to go ahead and write this down. Okay, 3 times 10. So the 3 is in the tens place. The 2 is in the ones place. Okay. Now this is where you're going to have to pay attention because look, it says 6 is in the hundredths place, not the tens place. The 6 is in the hundredths place. So it goes there. And then 4 times 1,000ths. So, well, what do you put here? You put a 0. Okay. So 3 times 10 plus 2 times 1 plus 0 plus 6 times 100ths plus 4 times 4 1,000ths. So let's find if one looks just like that. There we go. Okay, Santo chose C as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? Well, think about it. Just like I told you, you have to make sure that you put that 0 in the tens place because it didn't say anything about the tens. It said 6 times 100ths. So, Santo wrote 6 over 10, or we could do 6 times 1/10 instead of 6 hundredths, or 6 times 100. Okay. All right. That's why you have to be very careful when you start with your fractions. All right. Doria swam 100 meter backstroke in 58. I can't do that. 58.329. Second, how would you express this in words? Okay, since you have to show your work, remember what's the one thing I said you could use every time? That's write a place value chart. So tens, ones, decimal, tenths. Oops, I don't have room. I'm just going to put H and T because we know what that means. We do. That can just be between us. But if this was a test, they probably wouldn't like that. But we ran out of room. Okay. So I'm going to put the 5 in the tens place, the 8 in the ones, 3, 2, 9. So how do we do this? Well, we say the whole number first, which is 58. And that's the decimal. Find my lowest unit, which is thousandths. So that's going to be tagged onto the end. 9 thousandths. Okay. All right, next one. Which of the following correctly represents 1 and 706 thousandths? Okay. Our trusty little chart here. Okay, so 1, 7, 0, 6. Okay, let's go one at a time. I have a 1, which is my whole number, plus 7 tenths. 7 is in the tenths place, that's correct. 6 hundredths. The 6 is not in the hundredths place, so this is not right. Okay, I have a 1 in the whole, that's right. Then I have 7 tenths, which is correct. Then I have 6 thousandths, which is correct. So, circle. Okay, so what this problem is saying, and that's why I don't like that they don't put these parentheses here. You have to work this out. So remember, if you're multiplying by the decimal like this, you move it one place over to the left because the number is getting smaller. So basically it's 1 plus 70.6. So 71 points. So that's not it. Okay. Now parentheses, 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 parentheses. Okay. So I have a whole number on both of them, which we'll keep it. 7 times 1 thousandths. The 7 is not in the thousandths place. And even if it was 6 plus 7 equals 13. So it's 13,000. So that's not right. So I have 1 plus 7 times 1/10, which matches up, plus 6 times 1,000th. That's right. Okay, number 6. A box turtle Marcos found is 115 thousandths a meter long. What is the length in expanded form? Okay, so you would write your expanded form down here. This is where you would show your work, and this is where you could do your place value chart. You have a 1 decimal, tens, and we can write this out because we have plenty of room. Hundredths, thousandths. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and have a 0 in the ones place. 0.115. Okay, so since I have a 0, I do not have to multiply anything by 1. So we're going to start in the tens place. So I can go 1 times 1/10 plus 1 times 100ths plus 5 times 1,000th. Now that's one way to do it, or you could have written it like this. So, two ways. There's another way to do it too, but we're just gonna keep it like this. All right, so that is your video work for Friday. So I would make sure that you understand this before you go to the next part, because the next part is going to include decimal place value and your lesson 3 quiz. So make sure you understand this before you go there. Have a good afternoon.